Hello everyone, my name is Percy number 6, and welcome back to yet another episode of Percy's Ever-Present Past. I know it's been, wow, the last time we did one of these, Donald Trump became our president. Wow, it's been January 20th, that's a while. But anyway, I am back here today. It's about time. I'm here with my guest.
Sudrian Trainspotter, yay.
Yes. It's... Honestly, I don't know how long we've been working on doing this, but let me put it this way.
It's been a while.
It's been too long. It's been a few months. I don't know how we're finally doing this. This is unbelievable, but we're actually doing this.
Took us long enough. Better late than never, as you said.
Yes, better late than never, and it makes sense to say better late than never on this Thomas world that we're all a part of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is the first time now. I guess I've done 11 episodes. This is number 12. First time I've done it with a newer user.
I was going to say, yeah, that kind of deviates from the trend. I'm a bit curious as...
So I'm really excited to have a newer user on here, because it's different questions, because I'm not asking you, oh, what was it like in the past? I'm instead asking... Well, let's get into it with the first question. You're a newer user. You just joined a couple years ago. So, what made you decide to join YouTube and make Thomas videos here?
So yeah, I guess it was probably about 2013. I started seeing some of the content out there, guys like Wild Northwest or Diesel D199. Not necessarily Thomas Wooden Railway, but they really caught my eye, and I guess I kind of got back into it and eventually discovered the likes of Geek Ray, Thomas Wooden Railway, and Enterprising Engine 93. So I just kind of watched, and then eventually, as I got out of high school, I had some extra time on my hands, so I figured, why not try this myself? And so about, must have been September of 2015, I think I put out my first video, and yeah, I've been going at it ever since.
Yeah, it's been great. You joined, like I said, you joined in 2015, so you haven't been around that long, which I just am happy to have someone like that on here. So, when you got on, what was your first reactions after you started making videos to what the community is?
Well, I guess I realized that there's a whole lot more to it than I initially thought, but hey, I guess that's part of the challenge, right? I guess I like a bit of a challenge, and then I guess as I've been here this long, it took me a little bit to realize how integrated the Thomas Wooden Railway community is around here, and I eventually realized that, wow, there's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of good stuff going on here, so it's just really cool how well everyone's come together to work together and make some awesome content.
Oh, definitely. Now, one of the things, I think honestly, one of my favorite customs I've seen is your, Shooting Star Gordon model. Okay, so I want to get into this, because customs are so interesting to me, and, I mean, yours, like I said, one of the best customs I've seen on YouTube. What went into the planning for all of that, and what made you decide to go with, everything that you did to make it?
Well, I guess initially when I started, when the Great Race came out and they never released the Thomas Wooden Railway Shooting Star Gordon, I kind of always had it in my head that I wanted to make a Shooting Star Gordon at some point. And then at one point I was at Walmart one day and I came across one of those cheap little $3 Wooden Railway knockoff things, and I thought, not seeing other people post that they'd gotten that for just collection reasons, but I'd always thought if I found that, I'm going to get that and make a Shooting Star Gordon. So I got that, brought it home, did all the paint work. I had an extra Brio tender laying around, so I reconditioned that into the tender. And then from then on, I pretty much did all the painting. I pretty much stuck with paper faces, because I really don't want to stick, $25 to buy a brand new Gordon just for the face. But yeah, I like how it turned out. I definitely learned a lot, and I'm going to apply it into some future projects.
Oh, that's like I said, it's one of the best I've seen. Do you have any other plans for more customs?
Yes, I did Old Stuck Up a while too. I'm going to do a story adaptation with them in the summer, and definitely have another character that I'm working on for another upcoming summer things. So yeah, it's summer now, so I can stick a little more time into my channel, and so yeah, there'll definitely be more stuff down the road.
Oh, that'd be good. That's definitely something to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
Now, let's see. So, as a kid, when did you first get into Thomas? How did you get into Thomas? What made you get into Thomas, or whatever it may be?
Oh, I must have been about 3 years old, maybe. I think I got a VHS for probably my birthday, and some Thomas Wooden Railway stuff. For some reason, I always remember like Mike and Neil, for some reason, being my first Thomas Wooden Railway toys that I remember. Just it's funny how those two obsolete characters at once.
Mike and Neil, wow, that must have been hard. Like, you can't really go home and watch an episode with Mike and Neil in it.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird as a kid. Like, where are their episodes? Where are their stories? And I mean, now that I'm older, do I realize why they don't have stories? And,
yeah.
But anywho, yeah, I guess I got some VHSs and just started watching, and just as I grew older, the obsession grew, really.
Yeah.
I think probably my favorite VHS probably would have been Cranky Bugs. I think that one got watched a lot. I grew up with season 5.
That was a really good one.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, Alec Baldwin, too. A classic Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah. You nailed it.
Yeah, oh, man, Alec Baldwin. But, yeah, so, Mike and Neil, wow, wow. I can't get over that one. Okay, so this is one that, I don't know, some people go through it, and I think with a lot of people, when the community helps you, like, continue to like Thomas throughout the years, was there ever a point in your life where, like, you just didn't pay attention to anything Thomas?
Yeah, definitely. It was probably, like, 9 or 10 or so, just that age where you're moving on, you're growing up, you just kind of put it in the past, so that's pretty much what I did, and then maybe, like, every few years I would kind of maybe gain an interest to see, what's going on here. Like, I remember before I officially came in as Sudrian Trainspotter, I remember seeing Hero of the Rails was on, and I actually sat down and watched that, and I thought that was really neat to almost see Thomas go to CGI, so... So I would just come back from time to time, maybe see what was going on, but then I wouldn't really get invested into it as much as I did as a kid. But then come 10th grade, when I discovered some of the fan work, that's what really drew me in to do my own stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So let's see. Let's talk, since you bring up, like, Hero of the Rails and stuff, have you seen all the Thomas specials?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the only one I think I missed was King of the Railway, I think. But the reason I bring that up is, so you've seen them all, which one would you put as your favorite?
Well, The Adventure Begins, it's just so nostalgic, it just reminds me of the classic stories, and it just combines the CGI and the classic stories so well. It's just really the ultimate Thomas story, and I know a lot of fans are pretty much saying the same thing, but I just love it because it reminds me so much of the classic stories, and this is what Thomas was and what Thomas is.
Oh yeah, and it's so interesting because, I mean, it's been, probably about 30-ish years since the first episodes came out, and to come back and do it didn't seem like Thomas was necessarily one of those shows that would actually do that. Yeah, so, I can totally see why you would think that's your favorite. I mean, it's definitely a very good special, that's for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, well, since we're talking about the specials, let's talk about The Great Race. People have mixed opinions on that. I'd love to hear yours.
Well, I thought it was alright. As we have discussed and talked prior, we are both theater kids, so I guess I enjoyed the musical numbers. Really, all the numbers are great, I guess, just because I'm kind of a Gordon fan, and I just think Streamlining is a really catchy piece, and then the 6 Small Wheels number that they end with is really well put together, but I guess story-wise, maybe it is a bit jumbled and not very well focused, but overall, at face value, I think it was very good. They pretty much did go for more of a marketing spin to try and sell the characters, which I think is alright, considering where the brand is at nowadays, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, I guess I liked it for what it was at face value. Could it have been improved? Yes, but that's just... You can always nitpick little things. You're never going to be totally satisfied with the product.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. Uh, it was it was something. Maybe it's just because they threw in all those characters, and I think
Yeah.
you can make a strong arguments that most of them weren't needed. I mean, Vinny probably had the second biggest role for a new character, and even at that, it wasn't that big of a role, and he was like the main villain.
Yeah, we'll see if they follow that same strategy in Journey Beyond Sodor.
Yeah, I mean, at least it seems like for now, but I have that feeling it'll change. There hasn't been too much released about that yet.
In about 3 weeks, it'll start buzzing again when the trailer's released.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to potentially maybe be surprised when it comes to Thomas Special.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I mean, for our luck, for everybody's
Somebody will
luck.
ruin it.
Oh yeah, somebody will. It's bound to happen. Although for the most part, I wasn't too spoiled when it came to the Great Race, which was nice.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Well, before we get into more of your new stuff, because we got into that at the beginning, I want to get more into that later. Just a quick question. So, besides Thomas, what are your other interests you have outside of the Thomas world?
Well, I'm very active in I come up from a farm family, so I spend a lot of time and my energy working on that. I raise sheep, so it's in the middle of lambing season's over at this point, but it's just caring for lambs and livestock, so that's a lot of my time there. I'm also going to full-time college. I'll be working full-time this summer, and I guess I like being outside. The state in which I live has a lot of camping and outdoor opportunities I'd like to take advantage of. Maybe we'll film at some of these locations, we'll see, but yeah, I guess I like being outside a lot, besides Thomas, just working hard.
Oh, that kind of gives me a follow-up to your next question I want to ask. Talking about outside, a lot of your videos are filmed outside. Now, of course, there's the enterprising engines of the world. That's where it all got famous from, but what made you decide to go along that path? Because it's even with enterprising engines doing it for a while now. I mean, we really don't see that many people try to do it. So what made you decide to do it?
Yeah, enterprising engine is really proprietary in that, but I guess I just didn't see a whole lot of people doing it, and I guess there are a lot of people just doing sets on a lot. I just want to do something different, and as I've come along, I come to like it because it's just adds a little more color. I think it just maybe looks a bit more realistic to an extent. It's just a happy medium. I guess I wanted to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess seeing Enterprising was one of the first Thomas Wooden Railway users I came to follow. He's maybe a bit of an inspiration in that regard. I'm surprised I haven't been accused of being a rip-off with him yet, but we'll see.
Nowadays, it's so many people do so many different things, and at the same time, they all relate back to the same thing. It's crazy, but hey, I mean, this community's been around for over 10 years now. Ugh.
Yeah.
Long time, wow. Yeah. Well, since we're talking about the community, like we've talked about a lot already, you're still a newer, although now it's 2 years under your belt.
I don't know, at one point do you lose the quote-unquote new user persona?
I know, it's because it's like, you've been here since 2015, but I mean, for me, I've been here since 2008, so it's weird, because, I know, because it's weird, it's like, some of the users that were newer users, like, I remember when Oliver Duck was a newer user, now he's one of the older users.
Yeah.
It changes, but even so, well, I guess maybe because we haven't had a lot of, we have some 2016 users, but not there's some, but
yeah, they're still finding their footing.
Exactly. But so, as a relatively newer user, what what I mean, you've been around for a little bit now. So, what were
Uh-huh.
from what you started out, your first reactions to the community to today? Has anything changed for you? If so, what was that?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess initially I wasn't aware there was such a Twitter present and such an interconnectedness and all this, and then as I grew my channel, I realized, ooh, I should get a Twitter, and that's when I realized that the Thomas Wooden Railway community is really interconnected, and I guess it was just learning how deep the bonds within the TWRC lie, and then pretty much how well people are connected, and then pretty much that really leads to the relationships and the collaborations that happen in this community.
Mm-hmm. I
If you
mean,
get my meaning.
oh yeah, it's well, I mean, Twitter. It's I remember talking to Ted, while he was still away, and he said how that's one of the things he didn't miss because man, I mean, Twitter's
It's a
crazy.
mess.
I mean, people on Twitter, I tell ya, it's weird because like I know I'm for one not much of a I
No,
don't tweet too much, but there are some
neither
people who
do
man,
I.
I mean I can't imagine what their life would be if you took away their Twitter. But
Oh,
it's strange, Twitter. It's with Twitter, it's weird because for a while the community did not have Twitter, but now it's actually been a
no,
lot longer of the community. And maybe I think it was like about 2011 or so when Twitter became a thing
yeah,
in the community, and it's yeah, it's something that's for sure. So
yeah.
I guess here's a fun question. I personally haven't done one of these before, but a meetup. Have you ever thought of, or do you think you'll ever do a meetup with someone?
Hmm. Maybe if the opportunity comes up, I guess I'm not aware of any other users within my vicinity, so it would
Mm-hmm.
just take some logistics and communicating, I guess, to make it happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I guess, from somebody who's been around for, oh man, probably too long. Uh, it's interesting looking at that because there was a time when nobody like showed their face, and now most
Hmm.
people show their face, and now we even have people meeting up. Things have evolved,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I guess I'm still a little bit hesitant to identify myself. That's just my own personal standing, but
Mm-hmm.
if the right opportunity comes along,
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah. And that's even like, I mean, it used to be where some people would just say their name, and that's like a lot of personal information as is. Now we got people's faces, first, last names. You got like everything there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and that then you have people that don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's for sure. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so with all that in mind, 2017, it's still relatively young. I mean,
Yeah.
this is at the end of April. I don't know when this will go up, but hopefully the end of April too. Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, so what plans do you have for the rest of 2017?
Well, I'm definitely gonna push through all my series, Soda's Golden Age. I have one episode that's
Mm-hmm.
probably about 75% done. It's about Neil, tying it back into Neil.
Oh, good.
But yeah, and then my next one will be that old stuck up adaptation. And then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just gonna do some stuff with my series, and then I'll probably do some remake clips from here to there if I find a scene that interests me. I think I want to do it. I probably will.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'll also do my VA work. I enjoy voice acting in the community. It's brings me back to my theater days, a chance to express myself via
yeah.
my own work.
I think I remember Ted saying you have a great voice acting voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good there. So looking at your videos, it seems like now a lot of people do like reviews. I know you did one on Goldie and the Apple Orchard.
Yeah.
No, almost. It's 8 months ago. Not too bad. But do you think you're gonna do? I know you mentioned episode and a remake you have planned,
Yeah.
but do you think you'll do another review?
That's the thing with reviews. I kind of had one that was in the burners, or on the, that I was working on for a bit, then I just realized, and I just kind of put it off because I realized that it really wasn't all that unique. I'm only really gonna do reviews if I can bring something unique to the table, and at this point, I don't think I can. But if I ever do develop something that's unique and proprietary, I definitely will do some reviews, and I'm kind of maybe putting something together for the future. We'll see if it works out. Hint, hint.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is one, I've talked with people and they have different opinions. What is your favorite type of video to make? Is it a remake, a review an episode, maybe just voice acting or custom making? Like what would you classify as your favorite type of video to make?
I think I just like to do my own episodes because it's my opportunity to contribute my own writing style and then go out and film it and just see it all come together. And again, I also like doing those remake clips because it's my opportunity to kind of put a creative spin on what I've seen, like the videos I've seen and all that. And
yeah,
I guess for to narrow it down, I guess I like to work on my own episodes because it's my opportunity to pretty much do all of my own work and pretty much see it all come together. I really like the editing portion of video making because it allows me to see everything that I've worked on come together real nice.
That's good. I think episodes, yeah, they're definitely a lot of fun to make. That's for sure. Can be time consuming though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's probably the biggest negative there. But yeah. Oh, but yes. All right. Man, it took us a while to do this, but wow, we finally got to it.
Oh boy.
I don't even know how long it's been since we were supposed to do this, but I told him, I'm like, at this point, I'm making sure you're the next person I do, whether that takes a year, a week, I don't know how long, but you're the next one I'm doing it with.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have, I've had like, I think the newest user I've had on here was Ted, and he's like 2013. So I guess you're only 2 years later, but
wow, that's a big time gap.
I guess you're now the title, the newest user I've done a episode with. But yeah, it's great having you on here. Before we finish up, are there any last minute comments you would like to make, or something you want to address that I never asked as a question?
Not that I can think of, really.
Okay, well, before we do call it quits, you feel free to plug whatever you want. I'll put it in the description for you.
Yeah, I'll do the cliche, check out my channel. I'm going to try to put more out this summer, and maybe follow me on Twitter. I usually like to post pictures of what I'm doing, and maybe the occasional community commentary. We'll see. Yeah, just check out my channel and all that.
Sounds good. Well, it's been great having you on here.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, as we said at the start, better late than never, right?
Indeed. I just looked, and it was January 19 that you asked me to come on.
Oh, wow. What, 4 months? 3 months? That's
yeah, it took long enough.
It took long enough, but hey, like I said, better late than never. At least we finally did. Yeah, worth the wait, I hope.
We'll see.
Alright, well, again, thank you for being on here. It's been great talking with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, well, with all that in mind, this is Percy number 6, and
Sudrian Trainspotter, folks.
Thank you for listening. See you next time.